video is really about e-dating. Da, 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 internet magic sparkles. Alright, so there are tons of videos on the internet talking to dudes about how to get dates with Japanese ladies, and there's a lot of information on the internet about how it's impossible to date as a foreign lady in Japan and your life is going to be terrible. You're going to end up alone and cry. In my experience, this is not true. I think it's actually pretty easy to get a date in Japan if you're open to dating Japanese guys. There's tons and tons of dudes that are very interested in Western women and they would love to go on a date with you, but it's not quite like America where you can just kind of get pretty and then go sit somewhere and someone will talk to you, but you probably aren't going to like them anyway, so I don't know why you're doing that. But you have to be a little more proactive in Japan. A lot of girls in Japan, both Japanese and foreign, date or join a dating app. Maybe they use it for like a week and then they're kind of disappointed and then they delete it, but then they come back later, but then, you know, it kind of varies how long they stay on the app. And I'm guilty of this too. I tend to go on the app and then go on dates with a couple dudes, and then I get busy with work and I'm like, I have no time for dating, and then delete all the apps. And then when my workload lightens up, I'm like, well, I guess I could download some apps again and find some gentlemen to hang out with. But in the countryside, you're gonna go through your matches pretty quickly. If you live in the countryside, you're gonna be like, yes, yes, no, 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 yes, yes, no, 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 yes. Oh, that's all the matches. When I lived in Austin, it was like a smorgasbord of eternal matches. There was forever, just an eternity of matches. So in Japan, I encourage you to give guys that maybe you wouldn't usually go on a date with, give them a chance. I'm not saying if you think someone's a psychopath, give it a go. I'm just saying if you think somebody looks bad in their pictures, but maybe they could be hot, but you can't tell, maybe try. I mean, what else are you gonna do? Go on a date, doesn't matter. You don't have to marry them. And that's one thing I want to stress here. For dating in Japan, don't get hyper-focused on finding a long-term relationship and finding someone to marry. I think that even in your late 20s, if you're here, you need to focus on meeting lots of people. Maybe you meet them and they're not the right person, but you meet one of their friends and then they can introduce you to more people. There's always, it's important to cultivate friendship too, I think. Now in the city, there's tons and tons and tons and tons of Japanese guys on this because they speak English, but if you go into the countryside, you're not gonna have a lot of matches. Shogunai. A lot of times, if you're a girl and you're dating in Japan, you're gonna get a lot of Japanese messages, and if you can't read Japanese, it could be a little difficult. My Japanese it's okay, and I'm pretty patient, so I spend a lot of time when I don't understand something, like just putting the character into Google Translate, and I'm like, oh, this is just asking me my blood type. I don't know what it is, so oh well. But honestly, if you are living and dating in Japan and you're a woman, the burden of communication is usually placed on you. You'll even see this on guys that are dating Japanese women. Maybe they speak some Japanese, but their wives definitely speak a lot more English than the guys speak Japanese. And I don't think this is actually like the guy's fault. I think that it's something that culturally has been cultivated. Women are supposed to be good at communicating and using their words, and men aren't allowed to have feelings, and they must be terrible at communicating, and if they have a problem, they just fight it out. And I think that's kind of a problem. The hyper-masculine, every man must be this super muscle jacked dude that'll get a fight with you if you don't know what he means, because you better know what he means, even though men aren't supposed to be good at communicating. It definitely creates an assumption in dating that the burden of communication is usually on the woman. So if you're gonna date Japanese guys, I encourage you to learn the language. I'm not saying you have to be a super #1 Japanese master, because you can always meet in the middle. But it's good to know the basic vocabulary and how to get to know each other and things like that. Because if you don't know basic conversational Japanese, maybe you can meet a guy who will only speak English with you, and if you do, I congratulate you. But I think if you want to be able to date a wide variety of guys, you need to have some Japanese ability. Thanks for dropping it on my foot. It's a toothpick. Where'd you get this toothpick? Where'd you get this toothpick? You want this toothpick? Well, you can't have it because it's garbage. It's garbage, no fork, baby donkey, okay? I'm sorry. Oh, you guys are still here. I don't talk to my dog like that all the time, just sometimes. Okay, well, get out of my house now. Okay, bye!